Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we will talk something about data types, variables, and a little bit on compilation. Now till now, what we are doing actually, we are just printing. If I want to print, suppose any integer, let's say 1, then I'm just utilizing the cout statements and printing it, right? Now suppose I require some results, okay? Some calculations I want to do, and I require some results. Let's say first result is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. If I want this, what I will do, okay? Let me utilize my cout statement once again, okay? Let me do it here only. 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, okay? Okay, this is my result one I want, and let me try running this. Okay, so the result is coming good, right? 15. But okay, let's say along with this result, I want something else. I want a result 2, okay? That I have to print two results now. First is this, and another one I am just writing. And let the result 2 be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 minus 6 minus 7. Okay, this is what I want. So what I will do is, I will just, with this cout statement, I will add two more things, minus 6 1 and minus 7. Okay, these two things I have added. Let me try printing them. Okay, sorry. Okay, now see, 15 and 2, both the results are coming. But what we have done extra here, let us see that. Now see, in both the results, we have something in common. That is addition of first 5 numbers. Okay, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, we have common in both the results, right? What if I could have stored this somewhere? Okay, then this extra calculation wouldn't have been required. Okay, if suppose this entire result would have been stored somewhere, okay, then I could have just utilized this existing R and said that, okay, to that subtract minus 6 and 7, okay, to that subtract 6 and 7 and give me my result 2. I could have done that. Okay, so now my question is, how do we store numbers or any entity that we have used till now in C++? So for that we require something called variables. So let's see how do we use variables in C++. Now variables are what? They are they are those entities which store some values, okay, some real kind of values like a character or a decimal number or an integer, okay. Now how do we declare variables? What are variables basically? I hope all of you know class 10 mathematics, and what we used to do, that we used to take some variables x and y, and to them I assign some values like 3 and 4, okay. Similarly, we will have some entities like x and y in C++ as well, and these will be treated as variables. So let's see how do we do that. Okay, now suppose I want to have a variable, let's say x, and that will be storing an integer 3. So if I just declare it like this, okay, this will throw an error. Okay, we'll see how and why. Okay, now see, if I try to run the program, they are saying that there is an error that x was not declared in this scope. Okay, now if we just declare x equals to 3 like this, C++ won't be knowing that, okay, what kind of value this x should have stored. Okay, C++ doesn't know that. So we require something called as data type. Okay, data type determines, if we have a variable like x, then what data, what kind of data, whether that is a character or an integer or a decimal number, it should store. Okay, so data type for storing an integer is int. Okay, now let me try basically printing this. If I want to have, if I want to print x rather, then what my result will be coming up. Okay, let me try running that. Okay, so you can see here that I have declared int x equals 3. That means x is a variable of type integer, and that stores the value of 3. And once I try printing it, my result is getting successfully printed to be 3. What's actually happening? Okay, so when I am trying to print something x, its value, whatever it is storing, is replacing x here. So ultimately the result that's getting printed is 3. Okay. Now there are two things that you can do. You can have something like this, okay, and another thing you can do is you can declare the variable first, okay, and can assign its value later. Okay, I have declared, okay, it first and have assigned it some value later. Let's say y equal to 5, okay, and if I try printing it now, whatever is the value of 5, this will give me the result 5 only. There is no harm in that. Both are completely acceptable in C++. Okay, now we can see that, okay, output is coming correct 5. Now one thing is that, okay, how do we store decimal numbers? Okay, so we have two data types for that. One is float. Let's say float z equals to 2.333, and that is double. In more detail, I will be taking the topic of float and double, okay, in our upcoming sessions. So let's name my double as d, and the variable's name is d, and let me assign it value 5.6767. Let me try printing both. Okay, cout z in one line, and let's say cout d in another line. Let me try printing this. So see, both are successfully getting stored. The decimal numbers 2.333 in float z, and inside double d 5.6767. So we can say that, okay, both are acceptable data types for storing a decimal number. Okay. Now, okay, some more entities we have seen, like character and string. How do we store them? Okay. So let's suppose I want to store a character. For that, the data type is char. Let the variable name be c, and inside it, let's say I want to store a value z. Okay, and let me try printing it. Let me also have the string here only. Let the name be s, and here I will be having abc 111. Okay, and let me print it after assigning it the value. Okay, so let me try running this. Okay, let me see. Okay, so we have missed the semicolon here. Okay, let me try running this. So another mistake is we haven't given the slash and properly. Okay, there was a single quotation mark, but we should have given double quotation. Okay, so let me try running this now. Okay, now so we can see that, okay, character has been successfully printed as z, and string has been successfully printed as abc and 111. Okay, so one thing I would like to talk is this string is more of, you can treat it as a data type, but this string particularly, whatever we are using, is a class, in C++. We will have separate tutorials to explain what are classes and objects. Okay, and whatever variable s was following, that's more of an object. Okay, as of now we can treat that, okay, string is a data type. There is no harm in that. Okay, so let's move on. Now see, whatever we have utilized, this int, float, double, char, string, okay, these are predefined in this library, the standard C++.h. Okay, and these words have special meanings. These words have special meanings. Whenever I write somewhere int, C++ knows that, okay, one variable will be following this keyword, okay, some x, y, and this particular will be storing some integer data. So they are predefined words in the standard library and have special meanings. Okay, so if you try, okay, one thing I would like to talk about is these kind of words with special meanings are called keywords. Now see, if suppose an int is there and you say that, okay, I want to have a variable naming, okay, a variable name, what we utilized till now was x, y, abc, but if I want to have a variable name as int, okay, the variable name itself is int, is that allowed? Okay, that's not allowed. Okay, whatever words are reserved with special meanings are never allowed for naming a variable. Do keep that in mind. Okay. Okay, let me show you once that, okay, if suppose there is a string, okay, and I want to name the variable as int, is that allowed? ABC, let's say. Okay, let me try running this. Okay, so see here, we are getting an error. Why? Because naming any variable with a keyword is not allowed, simply. Now suppose we want to know, okay, what are the rules using which we can name a variable. So a name of a variable, okay, can begin with any character. Okay, character here means alphabets. Let it be small case ABC, okay, to Z, or uppercase letters A to Z. Or the variable naming can start with an underscore. That's what the allowed convention in C++ tells me. Moreover, if you try to declare a variable with any special character or any digit, that's not allowed. Okay, let me show you that here. Let me declare again a string variable, okay, with one ABC as naming. Is that allowed? Okay, let me try compiling this. Okay, now see, again we are getting error because particularly this one is coming at the first position of my variable naming. So if I remove this, okay, that's coming valid now. Let me try running this, and we will see that, okay, program will run. Since I haven't printed anything, nothing is getting printed, but program is running correctly, and this ABC is an allowed convention, okay, to name our variable, because there is nothing wrong. It has begun with or started with a character, and there is nothing wrong in keeping a variable name with all small case characters. Okay, now some more things to talk about is, okay, if I suppose keep the special characters like star and this percentage, all of them inside my variable naming, are they allowed? Okay, so let us try running that. So see, these two, any special character should not be present inside the name of a variable. Okay, you can keep digits, underscore. Okay, digits can be present here, as well as an underscore in between can be present. Okay, but and again, if you want to start, we can start with any of the alphabets or underscore. Okay, digit should not start the naming of a variable. Keep these things in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is, suppose I want to keep a white space in between, okay, the name. Let's say ABCD, there is a white space, and this entire thing is treated as a variable. Okay, this is also again not allowed. Okay, if you try running this, okay, if you want to try out naming variables using whatever is not allowed, you will always get errors. Fine, C++ won't detect what you want to do. Now, one thing I would like to talk about is, we have seen that x equals to 2. When I was declaring a variable like this, C++ was giving me errors. Okay, why can't C++ detect that, okay, this x equals to 2? Okay, so based upon the value whatever I've assigned, why can't C++ detect that this particular x will store or will have a data type of int? That means that it will be storing an integer. Why can't C++ detect? Because C++ is a statically typed programming language. Statically typed programming language. What does that mean is that whenever you declare a variable, you have to always mention what kind of data or what is its data type. You have to always mention. Why is it so? So suppose, so C++ is a compiled language, right? What does compilation mean? Okay, so we have seen, right? We were following some rules. We are following some rules to declare the name, to give the naming of a variable. Okay, we always give semicolon to end a line. These are the rules we have to follow to write a program. Okay, these are the rules. If you don't follow even if a bit of the rule, okay, then what will happen is that, let's suppose the first phase, whenever I've written this program, okay, this will undergo something called compilation. This will undergo something called compilation. This compilation converts the entire code into a sequence of zeros and ones, right? Zeros and ones. Correct? Now see, while this compilation, C++ checks whether you are actually following the rules or not. if anywhere the rules are missing or you have somehow misfollowed it, okay, then it will tell you that, okay, there is a syntax error. What is syntax? The rules and regulation to write C++ programs, okay. These particular rules and regulations are called syntax. Okay, every programming language has its own set of syntax. Okay, so while compilation, the syntax will be checked. If anywhere it is missing or it is devalued or not followed properly, C++ will throw syntax error. Syntax error, right? Now see, if the program is successfully compiled, okay, every bit or every line don't have any syntax error, okay, the variables that you have declared, okay, these variables will be allocated memory, okay, where inside your RAM, inside the RAM of your computers, they will be allocated memories. How much? Now, statically typed language, how do they operate? Suppose I declare a variable, how much memory to allocate for a particular memory inside RAM, okay, that can only be known to C++ compiler once the data type is known. Okay, then only the memory can be allocated. Else, C++ will get confused how much memory to allocate for this particular variable, right? So that's why we have to always mention the data type for any variable we declare. Okay, hope you liked the video. If you liked, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for your time.